Hello, this is a capstone presentation of professional development and teachers' use of technology. My name is TaiShara Twyman, and I am in the Education Specialist Degree Program in Instructional Technology at Kennesaw State University. I am currently the Mathematics and Science Instructional Coach at Charles L. Gideon's Elementary School, which serves as the center of this project. The problem that was addressed during this capstone project was that teachers were aware of the positive impact technology integration has on student engagement and achievement, but felt as though they lacked sufficient training, support, knowledge, and resources to foster technology-enhanced, student-centered learning environments. Most teachers simply use learning technologies for basic skills practice or reward. As a result, the majority of the teachers believe that there is a need for additional training on the use of current technologies within the building before acquiring new programs, resources, and tools. The plan for this project included the facilitation of 4 after-school professional learning sessions, which would include modeling technology-enhanced instruction, technology integration, standards alignment, lesson planning, and assessments through the use of the Promethean interactive whiteboard. As planned, these sessions would additionally instruct teachers on how to download, manipulate, and create their own basic flip charts for the instructional use. In conjunction with providing professional learning and modeling the use of these resources, I also plan to work alongside participants to co-teach collaboratively designed lessons that infuse the previously learned skills. As next steps, the participants would use the knowledge and skills gained from the professional learning sessions and support to design a lesson that incorporated the use of an original flip chart to shift active participation to students and encourage engagement. As a follow-up, an Edmodo page would be established in order to provide ongoing support. Here, participants could access tutorial videos, examples of actual student-centered Promethean classrooms, and all professional learning notes, handouts, and ideas. At the conclusion of the project, each participant would choose one original flip chart to showcase to the group. To determine the effectiveness of the professional learning project, each teacher would be given a Google Forms survey, which would serve as the pre and post assessments. As the instructional coach, I would conduct focus walks to view the practice in action. Also, teachers' lesson plans would be evaluated to determine if teachers are being intentional about how they would use this technology to encourage a student-centered learning environment. As previously mentioned, in order to pinpoint the individual needs of teachers, they were given a professional needs pre-assessment following the approval of the project. This assessment assessed teachers' use and perceptions of instructional technology, as well as asked them to provide their level of interest in a small group professional development cohort. After analyzing the data, I noticed that 5 participants had agreed to remain after school for 90 minutes weekly to engage in hands-on demonstrations and discussions. These participants included 1 first-grade teacher, 2 second-grade teachers, and 2 fourth-grade teachers. Additionally, individual learning sessions were agreed upon during the teachers' planning periods when time allowed, and an Edmodo learning page was created for teachers to use to support learning as needed. Unfortunately, project revisions and scheduled school events moved the start date of the project. However, this afforded me the opportunity to observe participants' classrooms and conduct one-on-one interviews before actually beginning the professional learning sessions. In December, I began researching strategies that would support teachers in the facilitation and integration of student-centered lessons, particularly centered on the use of the Promethean board. I conducted 2 formal meetings with the school's education technology specialist in an effort to solicit ideas and best practices for technology-driven professional learning. I orchestrated a schedule that would allow me to observe each participant daily and use the time during winter break to plan for the facilitation of the upcoming professional development. Upon returning from the winter holiday break, I met with a group of selected participants to introduce Promethean Planet. During our second scheduled session, we met to discuss the flip charts they had found, standards alignment, and the implications of using this type of technology to encourage and engage students in learning. The following week, I conducted learning walkthroughs to see the practice in action, only to find out that teachers had simply repackaged my model. For the next 2 weeks, I helped teachers build a bridge between the technology-free learning stations they were already using and ones that infused the use of the interactive whiteboard. By capitalizing on teachers' prior knowledge and experience, this set the project in motion. In February, I met with individual teachers and grade levels during their collaborative planning periods to support them in the development of lesson plans. I noticed that participants were not being explicit and intentional in their planning, which led to confusion and disappointment in the classroom. Instead of detailing how technology tools would be used in the classrooms, they were simply listing URLs. For the remainder of February, I worked with the cohort on thoughtfully selecting and modifying flip charts that supported various aspects of the lesson planning template. Teachers then selected a date and time for me to observe a previously discussed lesson. Unfortunately, in March, we lost our 4th grade participants due to the stresses of standardized testing, but the others remained willing to continue. During the month of March, participants actively participated while I modeled how to create an original flip chart aligned to a specific learning standard. Then, teachers were assigned a project that required them to create their own flip chart using the components of an Active Inspire rubric. The second week in March was our last learning session as a cohort. However, I continued to assist participants individually with designing and creating their flip charts. As we approached spring break and the month of April, my schedule was not conducive to working with teachers. Once the week of testing arrived, the building was not accessible after school. As a result, I gave teachers my contact information in case they would like assistance outside of the school. Following the conclusion of testing, I decided to provide an optional professional learning session to recap our learning together and revive our cohort. 4 of the 5 original teachers participated. 1 week later, these teachers presented their original works during our technology showcase. After all presentations were completed, I provided teachers with a link to a post-assessment survey to give their input about their overall experience. Results of the survey, along with the review of the lesson plans, indicated that this process was a positive one. From this experience, I learned not only how to identify a concern among the staff, but also find ways in which I can help to affect change. Additionally, I was able to see firsthand theory become practice. By completing this capstone project, I have gained extensive knowledge regarding the adult learner. With this project, I set out to coach teachers in and model implementation of technology-enhanced learning experiences. Though it may have taken us off the prescribed path, I believe teachers continued with the project because they were given an opportunity to have their voices heard and could realize the direct impact their learning had on the classroom. Unlike many other professional learning sessions that I have facilitated, I was able to design, implement, and lead one in which teachers voluntarily participated. In my opinion, being able to make decisions regarding their learning interests made the process much easier and more meaningful. As a suggestion to anyone who wants to implement a similar project, I advise focusing more on the process of enhancing teaching and learning through the use of the tool more so than the content. Sometimes we as educators can become so overwhelmed in perfecting the content, we forget about the resources and tools that can help. Overall, this was an amazing experience.